In the world of samurai, few names loom as large as Tokugawa. Born into a time of chaos and conflict, this remarkable man rose to become the most powerful ruler in Japanese history. But his journey was no simple path to glory. It was a twisting, turning saga of alliances and betrayals, of battles won and lost, of a man who had to outthink his enemies while keeping his friends close. And at every turn, he had to confront the harsh realities of life in Japan. This is a story of how Tokugawa navigated that road to become the first shogun of the Tokugawa dynasty. Now, this is something that has captivated people for centuries, including movies and TV shows. And one of the most famous of those works is James' epic novel, Shogun, which is now adapted into this incredible TV series. In Shogun, his story is brought to life through the character of Toranaga, a fictional warlord who embodies many of the real Tokugawa qualities and experiences. While the series takes some creative liberties with the historical record, it captures the essence of what made him such a fascinating and influential figure. So let's dive into the real history behind Shogun and explore how this incredible true story compares to the fictional saga of Toranaga. Along the way, we'll discover a world of samurai and shoguns, of honor and betrayals, and of the unbreakable bonds of loyalty that shaped the course of Japanese history. Welcome, and let's begin. Our story begins in 1543 with the birth of Tokugawa in Okasaki Castle. From the very start, his life was marked by danger and changes. Japan was in the middle of the Sengoku period, a time of near constant civil war between rival daimyos. And his family, the Matsudaira clan, was right in the thick of it. When he was just 5 years old, his father was killed in battle. Soon after, he was sent as a hostage to the rival Imagawa clan, a common practice at the time, used to ensure the loyalty of defeated rivals. For years, he lived in constant fear, knowing that his captors will kill him at any moment. But even in this harsh environment, he began to develop the qualities that will serve him so well in the years to come. He learned to be patient, to watch and wait for the right moment to act. He studied many tactics, absorbing the lessons of the great generals of the past. And he formed bonds of loyalty with his fellow hostage, creating a network of allies that will one day help him rise to power. This is something that the show adapts really well. When he was finally released and returned home, he found his family lands in ruins. His father was dead, his clan was scattered, and his legacy was little more than a few scraps of land. But he was determined to rebuild. He started making alliances with more powerful clans, including the mighty Imagawa. And when the Imagawa were defeated by another rising power, the Oda clan, led by the ruthless Oda Nobunaga, he saw his chance. He made a secret alliance with Nobunaga, and together they began to carve out a new order in Japan. In Shogun, we see echoes of his early years in the character of Blackthorn, the shipwrecked English pilot who becomes a pawn in the game of Japanese politics. Like him, Blackthorn is hostage in a different land, forced to navigate a landscape of alliances. And like Tokugawa, Blackthorn must learn to adapt to these new surroundings. But his greatest challenge was yet to come, a battle that would test his ideas, his alliances, and his very destiny. As he grew in influence and power, he found himself at the center of many alliances that would shape the course of Japanese history. On one side was Oda Nobunaga, the brilliant general, who had become the most powerful warlord in Japan. On the other was Toyotomi, Nobunaga loyal retainer who would one day become a legend in his own right. But here's what happened. He played a delicate game, balancing his loyalties between these two powerful men while always looking out for his own interests. He fought alongside Nobunaga in his campaigns to unify Japan, learning from the master strategist and earning his trust. But when Nobunaga was betrayed and killed in 1582, he was quick to switch sides, aligning himself with Hideyoshi and helping him to consolidate his power. Over the next decade, they worked together to bring the clans of Japan under their control. They fought side by side in some of the most brutal and decisive battles of the era. He knew he was careful to keep his own interests in mind. He used his position to expand his power and his own power base, building a network of loyal retainers and also consolidating his control over key areas. And when Hideyoshi died in 1598, leaving a power vacuum at the top of Japanese society, he was ready to make his move. In Shogun, we see this period of conflict and shifting alliances play out through the lens of Toranaga's story. Like Tokugawa, Toranaga must navigate a landscape of warlords and their plans, never quite sure who to trust. And like him, Toranaga must balance his own goals with his loyalties to his allies, even as those allies turn against him. One of the most dramatic moments in the series is when Toranaga's castle is soon to be destroyed by his enemies in the series. But even as Tokugawa and Toranaga fight in battle, they know that the real test is yet to come. This is because in the world of Japanese politics, there can only be one true ruler, the Shogun. And for Tokugawa, the path to that ultimate prize will be in battle. In the wake of this, Japan was once again brought into chaos. Rival warlords scrambled to fill the power vacuum, each fighting for control of the country. And at the center of the situation was Tokugawa, who had been waiting for this moment all his life. To take control and power, he knew that he would have to take on the most powerful rivals. Among them was Ishida, a brilliant general who had been one of Hideyoshi's most trusted lieutenants. He saw himself as the rightful heir to the legacy, and he was determined to crush anyone who stood in his way. The stage was set for a showdown that would change everything. The Battle of Sekigahara. On a morning in October 1600, the Tokugawa and Mitsurani faced off on a vast plain in central Japan. It was a battle of samurai against samurai, of sword against sword, of two men who had once been allies, now locked in a fight to the death. The battle was for hours, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. But in the end, it was Tokugawa who emerged victorious. He won against Mitsurani and crushed his forces, securing his place as the ruler of Japan. This battle is going to be the upcoming climatic confrontation in the series, which obviously is going to be huge. In both cases, we see two larger-than-life figures facing off in a high-stakes battle for the future of their country. But even as Tokugawa won, he knows that his work is far from over. Because as you know, ruling Japan is not just about winning battles. It's also about building a lasting peace, a stable society that can endure for generations. For Tokugawa, that meant consolidating his power through a combination of diplomacy and force. He rewarded his loyal retainers with lands and titles, upholding any hint of rebellion. He also created a system of strict social and political control, with the samurai class at the top and the rest of society beneath them. He wanted to create a Japan that was united, prosperous, and at peace. In Shogun, we see Toranaga that is dealing with many of the same challenges as he tries to navigate everything that's going on. And while the specific of Tokugawa's story may be different from the fictional saga of Toranaga, the themes remain the same: the struggle for power, the importance of loyalty and honor. And as we know, the series may have taken some liberties with the historical record. It captures the essence of what made him such a compelling figure. Through the character of Toranaga, we see a man who embodied the samurai code of honor, loyalty, and duty. My name is Christian from Premiere. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.